Just waiting on Neil again. So, what's up, Neil?
Hey, not much. What's up, man?
Not shit.
Busy day.
Huh?
Busy day.
Oh yeah. You in the same
Yeah.
place we were last couple times?
No, I had to go to Houston this time, and I had stopped so we could do this. I stopped in Nacogdoches, Texas.
No. Is it hot?
Oh, it was 96 when I pulled in here.
Be nice. It was 26 where I'm at, so
Yeah, I saw the snow.
feels.
You can have it. Just keep it.
I don't want it anymore. I don't.
Well, send it back where it came from. Don't send it our way.
Get to Michigan.
No.
Come on. All right. Um, let's start out now. All right. So the first question is, how will Delvin Cook stack up against Philly's number one run defense? And is he going to be stopped or just slowed down?
Um, that's really hard to say because Philly's stopped everybody that they faced. But Dalvin Cook isn't. They haven't faced Dalvin Cook yet. Anybody like Dalvin Cook, in my opinion. So I would have to say it's probably going to be in the middle. He's not going to do what he normally does. I mean, I don't think he's going to rip off any big runs. That front is pretty vicious.
Right. Yeah. I yeah, I don't think he's gonna like tear up the Eagles or anything, but I don't think the Eagles will really shut them down necessarily either. I think he'll go maybe 80, 85 yards on the ground. Um, but the key to winning obviously is to, if you're keying on the run, you still got to be able to stop the pass. And if you can get pressure on Cousins, they'll win the game because he cannot handle pressure. So if they bottle up Cook, they have a good chance of winning the game. If Cook runs for 120 plus yards, they're not going to win. So I mean that's kind of how the key to that game is going to go. So I think it'll be
Yeah,
some middle, about 80 to 85.
yeah. I figured 70 to 80 is what I was thinking.
So Cook needs to have a good game because Christian McCaffrey won't slow down, and they're trying to battle it out for the rushing lead.
Right.
So
Last time Tampa faced Christian McCaffrey, though, he didn't do too well. I think he had like 36 yards.
the only game he hasn't had, I think they said 175 total yards or something like that in every game except for that one,
Yeah,
which is crazy, by the way.
yeah. I know they held him under 40 yards rushing.
Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook both have more total yards than the Jets.
I have more total yards than the Jets.
Man, I feel bad for the Jets. They look so talented on paper when the year started. But all right. Speaking of the Jets, that goes to our next question. Darnold's back. Is that going to be enough to beat the Cowboys?
No, no. Um, Cowboys defense was just flat out embarrassed last weekend, and I don't see them having a repeat performance.
Right.
Um, I mean, Lev Bell. I heard a stat today. Lev Bell is actually he's one of the worst as far as he's getting the carries. He's just not doing anything with them, and which is kind of what I was thinking when he went there because that's not Pittsburgh's line. He's not running behind Pittsburgh's line anymore,
Yep.
and the Jets are their run blocking bottom quarter, you know. So
I always felt like that Le'Veon Bell was never worth it. Like when he held out for Pittsburgh, I thought he was more of a product of Pittsburgh than he was being the back that everybody said he was. I'm not saying that he's like a bad back, but I'm saying that it helped him being in Pittsburgh.
right,
Like because before James Conner got hurt last, I don't know what Conner statistics are now, but they can't be that good. I mean, they're nowhere near the same team they were, so he doesn't have Ben throwing the ball and all that. But before Conner got hurt last year, he had almost identical stats to Le'Veon Bell through the same amount of games as the year before. So I never thought he was worth the contract that he was holding out for, and I think the Jets are finding that out. Like you said,
Well,
they don't have very good run blocking either, but if he was the player that he thought he was, he'd still do something. I mean, Adrian Peterson never had blocking any time during his career and still made something of it. So, the best backs still find a way to do it at times.
Right.
Blocking. So.
Yep.
But, yeah, I don't think they're going to win either. I think Darnold being back is going to help the Jets. And I think Mosley's coming back too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, he is.
That's going to help a lot too, because they looked good the game against Buffalo before Mosley got hurt. And when Mosley got hurt is when they fell apart. They were shutting them out. Mosley got hurt, and then everything fell apart for the Jets on their defense.
Yeah. And then, and the other thing too is this is Darnold's first game back. He's not going to go out and light it up right away. He's going to need to get his feet wet. I mean, he hasn't played in almost a month.
Yeah. I do think they'll be very safe with him. And sure that if he is dropping back to throw, it's going to be quick passes. He's not going to sit back in the pocket with a chance to get hit. He's not going to be running around. So I think it's going to be very safe, conservative play calling to get him back into playing and make sure he's good to go. So
yeah. Well, then they got to keep him away from the high school drinking fountains.
yeah. Well, that chick in the stands that said she gave him on.
Right.
Man, I don't know what kind of women or kids he's hanging out with, but he needs to
he shouldn't be hanging out with kids anyway.
That's true. All right. Does the 49ers hot start continue, or do the Rams end it?
Man, that is... See, the X factor is McVay. You don't never know what he's going to draw up. I was actually leaning towards the Rams this week, but Gurley's up in the air now. And I don't know if Malcolm Brown is going to be able to, him and Devin Singletary, I don't know if they're going to be able to take that, fill in for Gurley. I don't know, man. I got to go with what's hot right now, and San Francisco's hot. I mean, it's a rivalry game. It's an in-division game, and Nick Bosa looks like a flipping beast. I mean, that kid, you never really got to see too much of him in college because he was always hurt. But, wow, he was just, of course, too, that was also Cleveland's lack of offensive line. I mean, I think you, myself, and 3 other guys off the street could have done just as good of a job for Baker, giving him no pocket. But, yeah, Nick Bosa just looks like an animal. I think that San Fran is going to carry on.
Yeah, I have San Francisco staying undefeated as well. Gurley being hurt. I mean, I know Gurley's hasn't been the same Gurley as he was in the past, but teams still respect what he can do. And if you pull him out of the lineup, there's no respect for that anymore.
Right.
San Francisco's defense is too good for you to be one-dimensional against.
Right.
And I do think Bosa's good. I think his biggest key is his health. He seems to always be hurt. I mean, both of them, his brother too. They seem to have a lot of health problems. I think he had a monster game against Cleveland because of Cleveland's offensive line, and he had motivation in that game because Baker stuck the Oklahoma flag in midfield of the Ohio State field after beating them, and he clearly did not forget because he made it clear. So he had a little bit of motivation for that. But, I mean, I still think he's a beast, but that game was special for him, I think. So, yeah, the Rams' offensive line is trash, too. So, Bosa's going to have a great time. I think they were showing the Pro Football Focus showed the grades with the Rams' offensive line, like, lined up against San Francisco's defensive line. And The Rams' defensive line, none of them were even close to the lowest one on San Francisco's defensive line. I'm like, this is going to be a massacre.
That's what I'm thinking. Like I said, before you hit the nail on the head, you got to respect Gurley regardless of if he's only 75% of what he was or if he's 100%. You still got to respect him because he can still hit the home run.
Yep.
And with him not in there, I mean, they're just going to pin their ears back and go get him.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that hurts the Rams. If Gurley was playing, this game was really hard for me to pick. But now that he's out, I found it very easy to pick the 49ers.
Oh, did they absolutely say he was out?
Well, no, now that he's leaning to out.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I read today, and this was a quote, he's very, very, very questionable. That doesn't sound good.
No, that's what I heard too. So, I didn't know if something had changed since the last.
That was on me. I'm just assuming he's out while I'm making my picks because when I read that quote, that doesn't sound like he's been doing very good. So
right.
No, I feel like unless a miracle happens, he's not going to be on the field this week. All right. Next one. Does Mahomes return to regular Mahomes form this week?
If Tyreek's on the field. Well, and the other thing too is Fisher, the left tackle, his blindside tackle, got hurt in that game, and you can see because it was a swinging gate over on that side. That's how he ended up getting hurt twice actually. But I think Tyreek. They have fast guys on their team. They have Hardman's fast. But Hardman doesn't have, in my opinion, he doesn't have the ability to go up and get the ball like Tyreek does.
Right.
For a little guy. They're both little guys by wide receiver standards. And Tyreek just has this instinct to go and get that ball. He's aggressive. He wins more 50-50 balls than most receivers in the league. I mean, he plays like he's 6'4".
Right. Yeah, he's definitely aggressive. You could ask his son.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't mean to laugh at it, but I mean, you kind of caught me off guard with that. But yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to.
Well, we're here to talk. I mean, I look at it as we're here to talk about football. What they do on their personal time, and that's for probably a whole different other platform.
Yeah, I try to keep it out of there, but a little joke here and there is not too bad.
Right.
But yeah, I don't. Okay, so I just want to say this: when you say like regular Mahomes form, I just want to say people have been spoiled watching Patrick Mahomes play because that's not human. What he does on the field is not human. And if you look at his games, the last two games, for any other quarterback, that's a good game. He hasn't played bad football. He's just not throwing 4 touchdowns a game the last 2 games.
Right.
Thrown for over 300 yards. And completing passes, a good majority of his passes. He's still making plays happen. It just, so happens that. And I think it's not more of Mahomes, more than it's that defenses finally realized what I said a long time ago, and that's this Kansas City wide receivers are not that hard because they're all the same. They're all speed guys. You play man-to-man coverage on them, and you jam them at the line. All these routes are timing routes, and if you jam them at the line, they're not where they're supposed to be when Mahomes throws the ball there. And you're seeing it.
Yeah. Well, even though he's not, Mahomes isn't doing what we have been accustomed to, last year, he's still the number 1 rated quarterback in the NFL. Believe it or not. I had that actually, I figured he was top 3. I didn't think he was 1 overall.
He's 1? I read that Russell Wilson was 1. Maybe we were looking at something else, but I thought Wilson was 1, but I don't know.
No, I just heard it on a podcast today. I didn't get a chance to do a lot of research, so I had to listen to podcasts and try to catch up that way instead of doing it with my own eyes.
Right.
That's what they said. They said that It was him, Watson, and then Wilson.
Okay, maybe I read it wrong or something because I was like reading some stuff on like the MVP race, and they were talking about how in the article they were talking about how Wilson was like a clear number one, and then they were like comparing stats, and I thought they said that he was the I mean, I guess it depends on how you're saying highest rated because I think they said Mahomes or like he had like the best quarterback rating or something like that. So I don't know. Doesn't matter. Mahomes is still a beast. I don't really think that that's struggling. It's just not being the alien that he's been for the past year and a quarter. And like I said, I don't really think it's Mahomes. I think it's the fact that defenses are finally jamming those receivers, causing some missed timing on some of those routes. And that's not really a Mahomes thing. It was only a matter of time till the league slowed them down a little bit. Like, you figure these guys out after a while. These are professional athletes, so
right.
I figure something out. Even like Brady. Brady's been, arguably the GOAT, right? So he's been for how long now doing this? But there's still those teams that he plays against that know how to stop him, that play well against him. When he plays the Ravens, he always seems to struggle. Brady does. So people are gonna figure him out. So
yeah, this is his 20th year.
That's absolutely.
Or no, it's more than that. Because I'm trying to think of Michigan quarterbacks. It was Brian Griese that won the national championship in '98, and then it was Henson and Brady after him.
I
can't remember.
Brady was drafted in 2000.
Okay, so they were after Griese. Yeah, I get my timelines mixed up when we go that far back. So 18 years. I mean, he's been doing it nonstop.
Right. Yeah, crazy. Okay, so next question is with the season nearing the halfway mark, who are our picks to represent each conference in the Super Bowl?
Well, things have changed a little bit. I mean, my division winners have definitely changed. Man, I don't know. New Orleans is scary because Teddy Bridgewater is playing really, really, really well in place of Drew Brees.
Yes.
And, they were just hoping that, in the 6-game stretch, as long as they could win 3 of them, go 500, they would be good. And yeah, exactly. So Brees is throwing right now. There, I saw a video of him throwing. So
yeah, he threw a couple passes. Was like,
yeah, he's probably only a couple weeks away at most, in my opinion. So, but I would have to say, man, right now, because the thing that New Orleans has that a lot of the other teams don't, like the Rams and so on, is a defense. Chicago has a defense; they don't have any offense. Minnesota has defense; they have a running game, but can you rely on Cousins?
A so-so passing game, yeah. So
exactly. I mean, he just disappears for some reason. I don't get it, but so yeah, I would have to go with New Orleans out of the NFC. The AFC is just so wide open right now. There's, Kansas City, Houston's playing really well. You got some sneaky good teams that I don't know, but like Buffalo. Of course, there's the Patriots. We don't really even need to mention them, but Buffalo's got a really, really scary defense. I mean, that defense is way better than a lot of people are giving them credit for. If they can get that offense going, who knows? I mean, Singletary's coming back, and I have a feeling that he's going to take over in the second half of the year.
Oh yeah, he's got to. He's way better than what they have.
That kid seems like every time he touches the ball, something electric happens.
And yeah.
So
absolutely.
I guess I'm gonna have to stick. Well, no, I can't stick to my guns. I originally had Kansas City, but man, they're looking pretty vulnerable. So I hate to be the guy that does this, but
Don't do it.
Who's beating them?
Don't do it.
It's the Patriots out of the AFC. Who's going to beat them?
So you're saying it's going to be the Super Bowl that should have been the Super Bowl last year, right?
Yep. Yeah, the Patriots.
Only 3.
I don't know what Belichick done a favor of some sort to the schedulers, because they're not losing a game for the first 9 or 10 weeks before they even get tested.
I think their schedule's going to get difficult here after next week. It's either after next week or the week after that. They go through a stretch where they got like 6 games where it's just like, damn. Like, so,
right.
Like I said, there's the one thing I hate, and I get why people say it, is that there's a formula to the schedule. Like, I can tell you like who everybody's going to play when week 17 ends. Right? Like, I can tell you every team that everybody's going to play the next year. There's a formula to the schedule. I just can't tell you what weeks they're going to play them in. And New England just so happens to be in a weak division. Okay, well, Buffalo's getting better now, right? But they've been in a weak division for so long, so it looks like they get 6 easy wins a year. And then the AFC's been the weaker conference now for a little while now, so they get all the number 1 teams, but those number 1 teams are nowhere near as good as the NFC number 1 teams. So, like, it seems like their schedule's super easy. And thus far this year it has been, but they are backloaded instead of front loaded. Like, all their weak teams are at the beginning, and I don't think many people thought the Jets were going to be as bad as they are. So that kind of looked tougher, right. And I think people expected the Browns to be better, and I think they play them next week.
Yeah.
And I think people expected the Browns to be better. But the thing is, with the Browns, you never know which Browns team is going to show up, because every other week they look really great, then they look really bad. Hopefully against New England, because I hate New England. I hope they look really great that week. But, my NFC pick is the exact same as yours. I think it's the Saints. The only team I think right now in the NFC that can give them a run for them. There's 2 if they're healthy, but the Eagles can't stay healthy, so I'm going to throw them away. The Seahawks can give them a run for their money. Those are the 2 teams that are going to fight. I think that's the NFC Championship game. That's obviously might change from here to then, but as of going into week 6, that's who I have right now. And then the AFC, I'm never going to pick the Patriots. Kansas City, they're going. Hey, Mahomes are going to find some way to beat them at the end. Superman. Going to be the Saints and the Chiefs, and it's going to be one of the most exciting Super Bowls anybody's ever seen. And Drew Brees is going to get that 2nd ring he well deserves.
Kansas City doesn't have a defense. They're not going to go.
Well, that's why New Orleans is going to beat them in the Super Bowl.
They're not going to get by the Patriots. The Patriots have a defense nobody knew about.
Patriots have a defense that looks really good because they haven't played anybody yet on the schedule. Let's wait.
Yeah.
Wait, when Daniel Jones puts up 4 TDs and 480 yards tonight, you watch out.
All right,
baby.
Are we gonna? You want to put a little wager on that?
Oh no, I picked New England.
Okay.
All right. Next question is he wants to know if I'm sure you know who put this question, but I know it was just the Jets, but can the Eagles get some love? Are the Eagles back to being the beast of the East?
Their defense, as far as their run defense is legit. And Jordan Howard looks revitalized in that offense. He's running like a man possessed. If they can get Deshaun Jackson back into the fold, that will greatly help their passing game. They're more of a dink and dunk, and they don't really have anybody they can throw that deep shot to. Arcega, I'm going to go back, a couple weeks ago when they played Detroit. Arcega-Whiteside had a chance to win that game for him, and he dropped the ball. And they need, but with the way that division's looking. I mean, the Giants, Redskins, Dallas looks really vulnerable. You got they're leading right now, so I mean, why not? You got to go with it.
They're tied for first.
Well, I don't
start sleeping on Dallas. They're going through a rough stretch, so that team is loaded.
I don't think. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, they're supposed to have the best offensive line. Dak seems really erratic. He targeted Michael Gallup 13 times last week, and he ended up with 5 receptions. Yep. So, and Gallup's got great hands. So, I mean, if you throw him in his general vicinity, he's coming down with it. So that tells me that Dak was being really erratic. I only caught bits and pieces of that game, but I don't know. And and Zeke isn't running the way Zeke has been running in the past. So there's just something really I just can't put my finger on it. That's why I'm fumbling for words right now.
Right.
I'm sitting here racking my brain trying to put my finger on what is it, but I just don't know.
I think the Eagles are going to win the East. I do, but I think it's going to be tough between them and Dallas. I haven't jumped off Dallas being one of the better teams in the NFC. I know they took a walloping against Green Bay, but they showed a lot of fight in that second half when most teams would have gave up. And I liked what they showed in the second half. The key is Dak. You got to get Zeke going because Dak cannot lead your team. You have got to get Ezekiel Elliott going early and quickly. And if they can do that, they can beat any team. I don't know why. Like, I was looking at statistics, so I'm thinking Zeke's having a down year, right? But I looked at his rushing statistics, and they're just not giving him the ball because he's getting his yards per carry.
Right.
They got to feed him. Like, I know that this thing is ridiculous, but, they do.
He did that at Ohio State, too. It was really annoying.
Yeah. Okay, they gotta feed him and buy him shirts that fit. Those are the two things that they got to do. And I think it's going to be a tough race between them if they can figure that out. If they continue to let Dak try to win games for them and run the offense through Dak, the Eagles are going to win, just walk away with the division. I think either way the Eagles win, but it's going to be close if they can go back to Zeke. Their defense didn't look that good last week, but their defense is a good defense. It's not it was just one of those nights, teams have those. I mean,
right.
Chicago just had it against Oakland. I mean, Oakland moved the ball down the field. They should have scored 30-some points, but Josh Jacobs fumbled on the goal line. Or not Josh Jacobs, Davis, the wide receiver, fumbled on the goal line. So even Chicago has games like that. Like, so I'm not, just necessarily discouraged. You just got to rebound from that. I think their defense is still talented. They got to figure out the offense. That's just the way it's going to go.
So I just had a thought popped into my mind about that. Well, you know how Dak is asking for 40 per.
Good luck.
Do you think maybe that's why they're doing this? They're trying to show him that he isn't worth 40 per?
I mean, yeah, you can, but now I would abandon that. Like, you pretty much just showed him already. Okay, so now start winning games. Okay,
that's kind of that I didn't even correlate the two until just now when you mentioned that. And
sounds like a Jerry Jones thing to do because
exactly.
Jason Garrett doesn't make any calls. Okay, so that's a Jerry Jones thing, and that's him jamming it at Dak. You should have signed the first contract we gave you, asshole. That's what it is. So, he's pretty much might have screwed himself for his future in Dallas at this point. But like I said, for the rest of the season, they got to feed Dak, or not Dak, Zeke. Screw Dak. Don't worry about the situation with Dak right now. You got to worry about making the playoffs. That's what a sensible owner would do. Although sensible is the key word. So, I got the Eagles winning it regardless. All right, move on. Next question is which rookie from the 2019 draft class seems like a bust so far this year?
Huh. Well, man, that's. I'll tell you what. Why don't you go first? Let me ponder on that.
Big one. I think this team had a good draft, but their first pick hasn't done anything. Clelin Ferrell from Oakland has not done a thing this year. I think he started every game, and he's only got like 4 quarterback hurries for the year. Like that's not good. Like, the guy's struggling. I don't know what they got to do to get him going. I actually defended the pick when they made him. I liked the kid. I thought he was a very talented, very had a lot of potential in this league. And he's making me kind of eat my words right now. I don't know what's up. I like the rest of their draft, but he hasn't shown up. And I think he's been the biggest draft or the biggest bust so far. I mean, this is kind of silly to ask this question this early, but as through week 5, I think he's the biggest bust thus far.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of leaning that way, but I didn't want to. I was sitting there trying to think of who else was drafted, and so you stole my thunder.
Sorry.
Oh, that's all right, man. I
think the rest of them have pretty much played pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of another one that's really what you would classify as a bust. I mean, or is not worthy of a first round grade, because everybody else is kind of come through and doing their part to a point.
Yeah, all of them have had at least one big game that I can think of off the top of my head.
Right. So I would. Yeah.
Was Montgomery a first round pick?
No.
No? Okay, well then he's off the pick. That's the only other guy I can think of.
Yeah, Jacobs was the only running back making it in the first round.
Okay, well he's not a bust, so.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that we're gonna have to just mutually agree on that pick because there's.
Yeah.
I would say Kyler Murray, but I think he's done the best that he can do with what he's got. So
yeah,
wouldn't want to put him as a bust. So
yeah, you can't really. I mean, with him especially because they got no defense. I mean, they got nobody on the field to stop anybody, and Peterson will be coming back here next week. I believe is when Patrick Peterson comes back. Or no, he got 8 games. He got 8 games, didn't he?
I was gonna say I thought it was half season.
Yeah, he got 8 games, so I was mistaken. So, but I mean, he's only one man. He can only shut down one receiver. And generally, there's 3 or 4 other ones running around out there. So, but yeah, you can't really put that on Kyler, I don't think.
Okay, I agree. Yeah, there was 2 more questions since we got a little tired today. One was posted in the chat early when we first started our broadcast, and that was, what were our thoughts on the Colts beating the Chiefs?
Shocking. That the Colts defense is actually a little better than I thought they were. I knew they were a good defense, but I didn't think they were that good. And it was methodical. They just kept feeding Mac and just kept grinding that clock down. I think maybe Detroit might have showed Indianapolis a little recipe. Detroit couldn't seal the deal, but Indianapolis went in there and just basically bullied them.
Yeah, I was completely shocked, and I'm almost a little embarrassed to say this because I thought the game was going to be a blowout. I actually watched professional wrestling instead of watching that game last weekend. So, I had to go back and watch the game Monday morning at work. But I don't watch TV at work. If there's any of my coworkers on here right now, I'm joking. Monday at some point in time, I watched the game, and I was very impressed by what I seen on defense, not so much on the offense, because Kansas City does not have a good defense, and I was very shocked that they didn't score more than what they did. But their defense looked good, and Their offense has been good enough to keep them afloat. If their defense plays like that every week, they're going to be contenders because their offense does enough, and their defense is going to shut people down. So if you can do what you did against Kansas City on defense on a consistent basis, you're a contender. And
Right.
Houston and them are going to have a dogfight for that division, I think.
Yep.
Which I didn't think at all once Andrew Luck retired. So.
I didn't think so either. Yeah. Brissett's been above game manager level. He's not a game manager. He's like a step above that. You know, he's not to me, he's not quite yet to put the team on his back and take them down the field and score the game-winning drive with, you know, in the fourth quarter with less than a minute to go. But
yeah, I don't know if I can see that yet.
He's smart with the ball. And he knows where it needs to be, and he makes sure it gets there, and he does it efficiently.
Yep. I agree with you. All right, the final question. I should have sent this. I don't know why I didn't. I should have sent you this question because somebody asked me in DMs. I don't know why they didn't post it on the post. Next time I'll make sure I send you that too so you know it's coming. But they just, I mean, it shouldn't mean anything you got to look up, but they just want to know if Odell Beckham Jr. is washed up. And I just want to say right now that is the biggest baloney I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, he hasn't been as productive, but if you look at his targets to catch ratio, he's got no drops on the season. I want to point that out right now. He has no drops. I just seen that statistic today. 0 drops. And he was targeted 7 times this week, had 2 catches. The week before, he was targeted, no, I got mixed up. 6 times this week, 2 catches. 7 times the week before, 2 catches. And then it was like 9 targets in like 4 or 5 catches the week before that. So there is something going on between Baker and him that's not right. But I've seen numerous times on the Monday night against San Francisco where he was wide open, and the pass couldn't get to him. I don't want this whole Odell's washed up. Like, stop looking purely at numbers and look at game tape. Like, it's not him. He's got no drops. How can you blame it on him? Like,
no, it's not Odell, and you know I've been harping on this for a little bit now. You know, been beating this drum that when as a quarterback you get the ball in your hands, you know, snap from center, and you literally have the time it takes you to release the ball to decide what you're going to do with it. One, that's not enough time for receivers to get into their routes. And I mean, 0.2 of a second. I counted so many times. Bosa and the rest of that D line was back there within 0.2 of a second, and Baker wasn't able to focus on what's downfield. He was focusing on trying to clear, get out of the pocket, so then he can do something. And a lot of times he just couldn't escape. That line is just. They're a great run blocking line, and I don't get this. They can run block. They run block really well. Pass blocking, they are atrocious, absolutely just atrocious. So no, it's not OBJ. It's the line. Baker doesn't have time to get the ball to him. I mean, he had 100 yards passing last week.
8 for 22.
Yeah. Literally right on the nose, 100 yards. So you can't put that on OBJ. You can't put it on Baker.
Well, you can put some of it on Baker. He himself has had a hard time this year staring down receivers, and he's got to stop that because you'll never win in this league doing that. That is very fixable, but he's had a problem with that this year.
Well, you know,
on Baker. I don't think he deserves the hate that he's been getting from people, because his O-line is trash, and he's running for his life out there, and Kitchens doesn't call very good. I don't know why they didn't just keep Greg Williams as a coach, because he did well when he was there. They should have just left that. But Baker has struggled this year himself.
Well, I don't understand why. Is it Kitchens that's not allowing him to audible out to a hot route? I mean, if you see a blitz coming, but, you know, I don't know. it's just really frustrating at this point because
I'm not even a Browns fan, and I get frustrated watching it because I was ready to see when you see a team lose so much. Like this is why like I get excited for the Lions at the same time, not just because I'm a Lions fan. I'll second, but like when you see teams that have lost for so long, you know, have the potential to be like great and do great things. It's frustrating as a football fan to not see them live up to what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, because I want them to win. I want Cleveland to go somewhere because I'm tired of the same old teams. I'm pulling for Oakland too. Like those are the teams I want to go to the next level. Buffalo, you know, those teams right there. Like go to the next level. Take it there. I want to see you guys in the postseason. I want somebody to beat New England. I'm tired of New England. You know, the same old shit every year. I pull for these small teams that haven't won in forever to go. That's what I like to see. So it's even not as a fan. So I can't even imagine how you feel being a fan watching it.
It's disheartening. It really is because, you know, and I just don't understand why he didn't retain Greg Williams. Greg Williams had that team rolling last year.
So I heard, I think Colin Cowherd said it, and I know he's not a fan of Baker, but he said that he had talked to Dorsey himself, and he said that Dorsey said that Baker had asked for Freddie Kitchens to be the coach. But here's my response to that, is that you're really going to listen to a rookie quarterback?
Right.
Really? I mean, see, no disrespect to Baker, but like you haven't earned that right to decide who you're not Aaron Rodgers.
Okay? No.
You don't have that right. Okay, you're
not Peyton Manning.
No, you tell Baker, no, we were winning with Greg Williams. We're not changing anything. If you like Kitchens, we'll keep him here where he's at right now.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll retain Kitchens and we'll keep him here, but he's going to stay in his position. He's not moving up to head coach because Williams was winning, and I had no doubts that they were going to re-sign him, dude. When the way that they ended the season after they fired Hugh Jackson and Williams took them, they were like, what, they're 7-2 or something like that, or
yeah,
like that, like
7-2.
Like I was like 99.9% sure that we were going to hear that Greg Williams was signed as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. When they said that they hired Freddie Kitchens, I was just shocked. Like my mind was blown. I couldn't.
I was too.
I don't know what's going on with the organization. They're just, the Browns are being the Browns. The only good thing is that I read today that rumor about trading Odell Beckham is completely false. So. Thank God, because I was like, what?
Yeah.
No way.
You know, if they can get everybody on the same page, and you know, like I had mentioned to you before, I think they should make a play for Trent Williams. Yeah. He doesn't want to be in Washington, and the Browns they got the cap space. They've got the draft capital that it would take to get him. And that would help lock down Baker's blind side because the guy is an absolute animal. He's one of the best tackles in the league.
Yeah.
And so
great move for you.
I wish they would try and do something like that.
Right. No, I mean, I have no more to say to that. You pretty much nailed it on the head. I didn't even think about that. I know I wanted the Vikings to take a look at trading for Trent Williams for a minute because even though their line has improved run protection wise, their pass protection still sucks. So with Cousins getting frazzled by pressure, I kind of wanted that to be taken away. But the Browns have a lot more cap space than the Vikings do, so I think that would be a very good move. I don't know who you would trade for him. Maybe. Let's see, what is Washington struggling with? Everything. So you almost could offer at this point. So
yeah.
Maybe a first-round pick. I know you've had plenty of those in the past, so I'm sure giving one up for a really good lineman wouldn't be a bad idea.
Right, because any lineman you draft, as a rookie, you're going to have to develop them. They're not going to come. Very rarely do they come right out of the draft, lights out and ready to roll.
Right. All right. Well, I want to move to our picks now, but I'm struggling to find mine. Found them. I got it. Man, I screenshot and saved too many memes on my phone, and I screenshot too many football statistics that even though I did these 2 days ago, they just get buried, bro. Okay, I'll start out with the first one. Giants, New England. I'm going to take New England, but I think that tonight's game is going to be very competitive. All these New England people were saying this is going to be a blowout. The Giants have been New England's kryptonite for a long time now. So, and there's just, for some reason, some teams just, no matter what the difference in talent level is, they match up very well or come to play against certain teams, right? And the Giants have always come to play against New England. And I heard people go, oh, wait, yeah, the Giants had good teams back then. Like, okay, in 2015, the Giants won 5 games. And the Patriots only won the game because the ref literally said Odell Beckham dropped a touchdown pass that he caught. Or the Giants would have beat them then, too. So, I don't think the Giants are going to win the game, but I think that they're going to stay in this game. It's going to be a competitive game tonight. Like I said, some teams just come to play against other teams. I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, I got the Patriots, and I got the Patriots winning by quite a bit, actually, because you got no Saquon, you got no Ingram, you got no Shepard. I mean, they're depleted, and on top of that, you got no defense. Their best defensive player is a rookie, and Montez Sweat. So, I'm sorry. What's that?
Peppers is their best defensive player.
Yep.
Sure that he's
right
here.
Well, but they're undermanned, and they don't stand a chance. I mean, Daniel Jones will keep it interesting for a little while, but in my opinion, but I don't think they can hang with them.
Right. All right. Next game. Sorry. Go ahead.
Next game is Carolina at Tampa Bay, and I got the Bucs winning this one. Winston and Arians have finally got something going together. And even though Mike Evans had a big goose egg last week, they got other weapons on there. And this Ronald Jones Jr. is finally starting to live up to his draft price, second-round draft pick last year. So the defense hasn't been as good as it was the first few weeks, but it's a division rival. McCaffrey is a little dinged up, and they still got Kyle Allen at quarterback. So it's going to be a good game, but I think Tampa Bay pulls this one out.
Kyle Allen is undefeated as a starting quarterback in this league. He won his only start last year, and he's won every game he started this year, 3 games. But I don't think he keeps it going. This game's going to be in London, if I'm not mistaken, so Tampa won't have that home field advantage. But I just think that offense has clicked. Arians figured out that offense, and I just can't see Carolina slowing them down enough, and they can't score with them. So, but the one thing they have to do in this game is they got them to get both receivers involved. Stop being so predictable, because one of these teams are going to come and just go, oh, we just got to cover Godwin the entire game, and Winston's going to be all confused. Like literally look at their receptions last week. It was like Godwin 7, and then there was 3 guys with 2, and a guy with 1. It was like, okay, so he's throwing to Godwin. They only targeted Mike Evans 3 times. That's unacceptable. Yep. Come on, man.
Well, and they got to get O.J. Howard going too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Other people other than Godwin. I mean, I just watched O.J. Howard one-hand a foul ball yesterday.
I did too.
100 and some miles an hour. It's I got it. Throw that man the ball. For real, throw him the ball. Okay, so I got Tampa winning this game, though. I don't think Carolina's. I think they're one of the weaker 3-2 teams in the league. So I I don't see them being able to beat Tampa. Seattle at Cleveland. My heart wants to pick Cleveland, but Seattle's too good, man. I think Seattle's going to take this one. They're good on both sides of the ball. Their defense isn't what it used to be, but they're still very serviceable on defense. And Russell Wilson is just, man, that guy's amazing. I don't know how he makes the plays he does, and it's incredible. And the moment he throws it to Lockett, it's guaranteed to be a catch. The last year in a quarter, they have a perfect quarterback rating when he's targeting Lockett, and that's incredidible. And then you also have Metcalf over there, and Carson's been running the ball all over the place. So he's picked it up, and just too many things. Unless Cleveland comes out and finally this is the week that they decide to be what everybody thought they were going to be, there's no way that I can trust them to win this game, even in Cleveland. It's just Russ is too good for me to do that.
Well, I mean, it breaks my heart to have to do it, but I took a big hit last week in my picks, so I mean, I gotta go with not with my heart, but with my mind, and my mind is telling me, Seattle's hot right now. Cleveland, until they fix that offensive line, and until Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams come back to lock down the receivers and opposing receivers, I just can't see them winning against a good team. Seattle, their defense isn't what it used to be, but they still got a really good front four.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to put pressure on Baker. That line has proven time and time again this year that they cannot stop pass rush, especially the fast, the DNs that get upfield quickly. Their tackles are not athletic enough to stay in front of them. So, yeah, I've got Seattle taking this one in Cleveland.
Okay.
Next one, this is, to me, is going to be the game of the week, I think.
Very well could be.
Houston at Kansas City. According to the statistic I heard, you got the number 1 and number 2 quarterback in the league playing in this game in Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. This is going to be interesting. Kansas City needs Tyreek to play this game if they're going to have a chance. Sammy's hurt still. I don't know what his status is. Last I heard, he was not going to be able to play. But I feel that the difference in this game is going to be Houston has the better defense. So I'm going to take Houston in this one.
I've got Kansas City. I don't see them losing 2 in a row at Arrowhead. Houston, one week looks like one of the best teams in football, and the next week they score like 12 points, and I don't understand how that happens. But good thing for Houston is they had Will Fuller finally decided he was going to play this year. And not just play. I mean, he balled.
Yeah.
I was very close to picking Houston. I agree with you that this could be the game of the week. This is going to be so high scoring. This game is going to be so fun to watch. It's going to be a lot like the Rams-Chiefs game last year. Like this, I just think that Mahomes is going to get the ball with the chance to win the game at the end, and he's going to make the play that he's got to play. Even if Tyreek plays, I don't think he's going to be 100%. So I don't really factor that into my decision at all. I just can't see a team as good and as well coached as Kansas City dropping 2 at home, especially in a big game like this against a big opponent that they know that they have to show up for. And I think that Andy Reid's going to outcoach Houston in this game, and that's why they're going to win. So, all right, next one. This is the game of the week. I can't believe you missed it. You talking about?
No, this is the opposite of the game of the week.
This is a game where tickets to the local zoo are more expensive than the tickets to the football game.
Right.
That is insane, but that's a true fact. Tickets there are going for like less than $10 for this game. Like that is ridiculous. I got Washington just because of the two teams, they're the only team that showed like anything, because like the first 2 weeks, Washington had a pretty decent offense. So like at least they got that to lean on, and I can't come up with any other reason other than the fact that I think Miami's trying to lose games. So I gotta get in. Yeah, I got it. Washington's gonna win. If I get it wrong, whatever.
I I got Washington as well. I think they're going to establish, from what I read today, they're going to try to establish AP in the run game. They said that he has not gotten into a rhythm yet this year.
That's
because they've been playing from behind.
Yeah,
right.
Well, 8 carries. You know, AP is his whole career. He hasn't ever gotten going until about carry 10, right? So.
Yep. So, and this is a good defense to do that with, because there's going to be holes aplenty. Also, Keenum is going to play this week. Yep. He's ready to go.
After
and then I think Washington, there's going to be a little bit of the our coach got fired factor in there. They just got too much on their going in their favor. Rosen is looking like he's going to be perpetually attached to the #1 overall draft pick, because when he was in Arizona, they got Kyler Murray, and now he's in Miami. They're going to end up with, name whatever quarterback you think they're going to take.
It's going to be Tua. They're going to pick the right.
Well, I think it's going to be Jalen Hurts.
That's who they should pick. That's the right guy.
Yeah. Alabama. That kid is a baller.
Hurts is the better QB. Alabama made a mistake by letting him.
Oh yeah. Well, I think Hurts and Saban's relationship just got so severed, or so just deteriorated so much when he started putting Tua in there. But so yeah, I just thought that was a funny little fact, and
yep.
We'll see if it happens again next year wherever Rosen ends up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Next one is got Philly at what's that?
My game of the week.
Yeah, your game of the week. We got Philly at Minnesota. Brent Johansson, I'm sorry, bud, but I'm going to take Philly on this one. They're on a roll. I just don't. Man, I'm hearing little rumors that Deshaun Jackson's might be available for this game. And Jordan Howard, like I said earlier, is running like a man possessed right now. Philly they got a good O-line. They can open up holes for him to run through, him and Miles Sanders. And I think it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a real close game. But I think Philly wins it.
I actually read about an hour ago that Deshaun Jackson is going to miss his 4th straight game.
Is he? Okay.
So, well, it said very likely he misses his 4th straight game. So let's put that in quotes. Very likely to miss his 4th straight game. I just read that on maybe not an hour now, but like an hour before we started this podcast. That he was. I have him on one of my fantasy teams, so I get the notifications. It's a bummer for my fantasy team, but I'm gonna think Minnesota's gonna win this game. But it could go either way. It's gonna be both teams got pretty solid defenses. Minnesota's got the better defense because Philly's susceptible on pass defense. Very good run defense. Minnesota's good at both. So then it comes down to offense. Wentz is the better quarterback out of Cousins, or him and Cousins, which is not even an arguable fact. Delvin Cook's the way better running back. That's why this game could go either way. It's very evenly matched. But I'm giving it to the Vikings because of home field. Last year, I picked Philly in this game because they were at home and I lost. So I picked against my own damn team, and then it bit me in the ass, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm not doing it again. They're at home in the dome where they play well. So They struggle on the road, so I would pick Philly if it was in Philly, but I don't see them losing in Minnesota. So I got Minnesota in this game. New Orleans and Jacksonville. Well, good news for Jacksonville is Jalen Ramsey's going to play. So him and the owner had a heart-to-heart conversation, and Ramsey's going to play this week. So that's a positive for them. They're not going to win, but it's a positive for them. So maybe slow down Mike Thomas a little bit. The Saints are too good. I think they're too good. I like Jacksonville. I like Minshew. I like Fournette, even though a lot of people don't like Fournette. I like him. But this New Orleans is too hot. I mean, if they're beating the teams they're going to beat, they're not going to struggle with Jacksonville. Bridgewater's played way better than anybody thought he was going to play. And before last week, it was just he was just checking the ball down, and I told everybody that they were trying. He hadn't played in like 4 years, so they were trying to get him into the offense, right? Well, they let him go last week, and he was money. So now you have a quarterback that's very good, playing very good. I don't necessarily know if he is very good, but playing like lights out right now. And that would have been their only weak spot. I don't think this game's going to be close. I think it's like 31-13, somewhere around that range, because New Orleans' defense is very good too, so I don't see them giving up much either. Lattimore, by the way, shadow Evans all last week, and he didn't get a catch. For fantasy people out there, this isn't the week to play Chark. Letting you guys know that now. So I wouldn't play him. Lattimore's been probably the best corner in the league this year. So just a little tip there. So that's all I got for this game. Go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, you stole my thunder on that. Yeah, I'm going to take New Orleans in this too. Yeah, like I'm going to touch on what you just said. This is definitely not the week to play Chark, because dude, just anybody he lines up with, they are irrelevant for the game. He's absolutely a lockdown corner. So Minshew, you need to look elsewhere. You need to look at Dede, possibly Marquise Lee. If you're going to throw the ball, and you're a little dump downs to Fournette too, who is surprised me. He's actually really improved in that part of his game. Fournette has with the receiving.
Yeah.
But I mean, short of the game being played in a hurricane, which last time I checked, there wasn't any in the area. So I just don't see how Jacksonville is going to be able to keep pace with the Saints. Saints got a really good defense as well. That front four is vicious. So, yeah, I think Minshew is going to be in for a rough night.
Yep.
Our next game is Cincy at Baltimore. And I'm taking Baltimore. Yeah, Cincy's a train wreck. I'm hearing rumors that A.J. Green is real close, but it won't be this week. But regardless, I mean, Cincy really, I don't know how they just continually, they look good on paper and they come out and there's nothing there. There's no fizzle, no pop.
Andy Dalton's a dumpster fire, so.
Yeah, and that offensive line their offensive line is also horrible. To me, this game should be a blowout.
Yeah. I got Baltimore too. I made the mistake after 3 weeks of saying that I believed in Lamar Jackson, and ever since I said that, he went back to the Lamar Jackson that I knew he was to begin with. Okay, so I don't think Baltimore is very good, but I think that Cincinnati's very bad, and that's where this comes down to. And they're in Baltimore, and they have a very good head coach, and that's enough. That's enough. I don't have anything else to say. Cincinnati's a dumpster fire. They're the only team that I may consider taking Miami against if they play. That's it. That's it. I might flip a coin if they play on that game. I'll just flip one and be like, whatever it lands on, that's what I'm taking. So I'm just gonna move to the next one. Man, we got a lot of good games this week.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm obviously gonna watch the Minnesota game, but I want to see the other games too. Like, man, I gotta find a way to see all these games. San Francisco at the Rams. It's another game that I think is going to be close, whether Gurley plays or not. I don't think the Rams are going to get blown out by any means in this game. I think it'll be very close, but as I told you earlier, I had San Francisco winning this game. It doesn't look like Gurley's going to play. San Francisco's two-headed monster in the backfield is absolutely nuts. Breida and Coleman are crazy, and I'm sure they're glad that they have Coleman back because he was just on fire the other. I mean, Breida was too, but to see that you have two backs that just look virtually unstoppable is got to be a breath of fresh air for them. And the defense is just, I don't even want to have to. I don't know what to. I don't want to say that they might have a top 3 defense, but I think they do. That defense is good, man. They create a lot of turnovers. They get to the quarterback. They don't allow big plays. They just don't. And that's key because they're playing the Rams and McVay. And I don't think Jared Goff's a great quarterback. I think he's in a system that is very, very good. Because he shows it when he has to try to put his team on his back and he can't do it. And I think he's going to make mistakes and he's going to throw turnovers and San Francisco's going to capitalize on it. The only thing I'm not sold on in San Francisco is Jimmy G, but all he's got to do is be conservative like he was against Cleveland, and they'll be fine. So.
Well, I've got San Fran winning this one, but I think this right here, a lot of people are saying Houston, Kansas City is going to be the highest scoring game of the week. I think this one is going to be. Because go back in history and look, whenever McVay and Shanahan get together and they both have decent teams, it is just a fireworks show, one right after the other. So I don't think defenses are going to matter much in this one because Shanahan he's a pretty good offensive mind himself as far as being able to get his backs into positions where they can win the one-on-ones. And you saw Breida. Breida's sneaky fast. I didn't think the kid was as fast as he is.
Right.
And
yes,
yeah, that was he was just waving bye-bye, and he literally was gone bye-bye when he went by that safety.
That was just run in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Past 2 years. That was crazy.
But I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. But I've got San Fran coming on top. Excuse me. I got a little frog in my throat. Next game is Atlanta at Arizona. I've got, man, I you know me, I've said it all year long. I don't think Atlanta was that good, and they're proving me right.
Yep.
This was a hard game for me to pick. I really, really, really wanted to pick Arizona for being at home, and I like Kyler Murray. I think he's going to be a special talent in this league when he gets the right pieces around him. He gets an offensive line in front of him. You know, there's another team that's got just a horrible offensive line. But I got Atlanta. I think they just got too much firepower right now, and I think Matt Ryan's going to do just enough to get the job done. Julio has been kind of quiet, and I think he's going to finally make an appearance. I mean, there's nobody there to cover him, so why not? Freeman's actually having an okay season. I think he misses Tevin Coleman. It shows, but
Breida likes him.
Yeah, but give me Atlanta on this one.
Okay, you wanted to pick Arizona. I did pick Arizona. here's a little thing about Atlanta that's crazy to me is if you look at their numbers, their offensive numbers on paper, they look really good. Okay, right? But they don't get going until they're already down, like big. And then Matt Ryan's like, "Oh, I can throw the ball. That's right." And then starts throwing the ball, right? But now it's too little, too late. You can't do that every game. They can't. It's gonna be a sloppy game. Matt Ryan, I think he's. Last time I looked, he was leading the league in interceptions. Um, Baker might now. I didn't look after last week, but he's either one or two, and that's not good either. So I think it's gonna be a very sloppy game. Arizona's gonna be at home. They're coming off a win. They finally feel good about themselves. Atlanta feels like shit because they just lost to a Tennessee team that looked like they were trash, and now all of a sudden they just get beat. They got blown out. Um, Atlanta's defense is garbage. Kyler Murray starts looking better and better every week. The receivers for Arizona stepped up. They've made plays. Their offense actually isn't that bad. Arizona's offense is not that bad. So I got Arizona in a sloppy game. I think it's not going to be pretty, but I think they're going to win. Tennessee at Denver. Now this was, for two teams that aren't very good, this was a very difficult game for me to pick.
Me too.
Because every time I pick Tennessee to win, they lose. And every time I pick them to lose, then they freaking win. So, oh man, they irritate the shit out of me. Okay, Denver looked good last week. Like they finally looked like that they put together a defense that they were supposed to have from the beginning of the season, which is crazy because Bradley was the first game without Bradley Chubb, and now they look good. It makes no sense to me, but they looked good. They were good. They shut Rivers down. They shut Eckler down. I think Eckler had a big game receiving, but he didn't have anything rushing. So I'm gonna pick Tennessee because the people in Denver asked me to. So I'm not joking.
I believe you.
So I was like, all right, I'll pick them because I was struggling this side, and they were like, pick Tennessee because every time you do, they lose. So this one I'm giving to you, Denver. I'm picking Tennessee, and that's the only reasoning I have. So if you have anything better than that, please let me know because Tennessee is the most mysterious team in the league, without a question.
This was for me the next two. I pick games by how easy they are. The easy ones I pick those first, and then because the other ones I got to put some thought into. This was for me was actually the second hardest, and not because they're good teams, because like you said, they're both Jekyll and Hyde teams. When you think they're going to lose, they win, and when you think they're going to win, they don't even show up. I think they send their wives to go play for them or something. But so yeah. With that being said, I mean, just because I believe Tennessee has the better defense, I'm just gonna go with Tennessee. I understand it's at Mile High, but I just don't. I'm like you. Every time I pick, I'm probably gonna get burned on this, but something tells me that I need to go with Tennessee on this. Our next game is Dallas at the Jets. I'm gonna go right off the top and say I took Dallas because for the simple reason Dallas was absolutely embarrassed last week, in my opinion. They looked like utter garbage. They didn't run the ball well. They ran the ball well when they ran the ball, like we said earlier, but they just didn't run the ball enough. And, Zeke is a workhorse. He's a big, big boy. He can handle 25, 30 carries a game.
I don't get it.
Just like Nick Chubb. He's a thumper. And I just don't understand why they're not riding. You just paid him all this money that he demanded and held out for. Make him earn it now. That's your mule. Pack him up and let's go.
Yep.
I think the Jets are, like we talked about earlier, Jets are going to take it a little easy with Darnold coming off of the mono and everything. Mosley will be back, but that'll help a little bit. But I just think Dallas is going to come out firing. I think they're just going to feed Zeke and just keep feeding him until he explodes. So give me Dallas on this one.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. I got Dallas too, but I would like to see them not only feed Zeke, but they need to get Tony Pollard involved in their offense more. That kid is good, and when they give him the ball, he gains yardage. He's good. There was a moment in time before Zeke came out of his holdout that I thought that they didn't even need to sign Zeke. Like I was like, this guy can play. He could have led Dallas, and unfortunately for him, he plays on the same team as Zeke. He's going to have to go to another team to really get a good career in this league, but I think he definitely can succeed in this league without a doubt. I think Dallas is just too talented. They're too well-rounded to get beat by the Jets. I do think this will be a closer game than a lot of people are saying. Because, again, the return of Darnold. I know they're going to take it easy, but he's still way better than anything that they have regardless. Then Mosley comes back. It's going to make the defense a lot better. He seemed to have been the heart of that defense when he was there. And then he went out, and everything fell apart. So I think you need that leadership there, and it's really going to help. I think this will be a close game. But I got Dallas. I just think the talent level difference is too much. So I got them. Pittsburgh and the Chargers. The Chargers are the same freaking way as Tennessee to me. I'm going to pick them, which means Pittsburgh will win. But I'm going to pick the Chargers. They're at home. Pittsburgh's going to be starting a third-string quarterback. I just don't. How many quarterbacks can you go through? They can't have that many good quarterbacks on the roster. They already couldn't win games with Mason Rudolph, so what's going to make them win games with Hodges? I just can't see it. Connor's too inconsistent. The Chargers are now going to have Melvin Gordon more in a more steady role now this week. And I think that'll help out Phillip Rivers so he doesn't feel like he's got to carry the entire team on his back. I think he'll be a lot more relaxed. And I don't think, like I said, I just don't think they can do it with a third-string quarterback. So that's what I got for this game.
I also took the Chargers. Pittsburgh's just got too many negative factors that they're dealing with right now. They're third-string quarterback. Jalen Samuels is gone for at least a month. Juju is dropping balls that he should catch.
And fumbling away.
Exactly. And I just, they're still trying to figure out who their number two is, across from Juju. Is it going to be Deion Johnson? Is it going to be, well, it's not Washington. They've already made that very clear. So, but this is their third attempt this year at trying to find a number two receiver. So I just don't think Pittsburgh's going to be able to hang with the Chargers. They got Melvin back. I think Melvin's going to get his normal workload that we've seen him get in the past to alleviate some of the pressure off of Rivers and those receivers. And Pittsburgh's going to have to play more guys in the box. And in doing that, that's going to leave Keenan Allen, Michael Williams one-on-one in some one-on-one situations where they're both going to dominate. So, and he's not going to play this week, but Hunter Henry is practicing on a limited basis. He is back. So,
for a week.
No. But he's back. He's another target. He's another big body that team's got to account for. So, yeah, you can give me the Chargers on this one. All right. This game right here was the hardest game for me to pick.
I mean,
what's that?
I mean, I already know who you picked.
for the simple fact that I don't know really who Green Bay is. I mean, when you got Aaron Rodgers back there, who I'm hearing little rumblings that him and LaFleur are kind of butting heads a little bit. Aaron Jones,
monster.
I don't think you'll ever. I don't think you'll see Aaron Jones score 4 touchdowns in a game again this year. I think that was totally out of character for him.
But I do think he's solidified himself as the man in Green Bay now.
Yeah, well, it's possible, but LaFleur's still saying that he wants Jamal Williams carrying the ball as well.
Yeah, but I don't buy it. I heard that he said that, but I don't buy it.
So, well, I guess that remains to be seen. But, you know, in Detroit, they've just got this, you know, this thing about playing in Green Bay. They don't do well up there. They go up there with good teams and just don't show up, or I don't know. But I took Detroit in this one.
Holy shit! What? Oh my god!
I'm just not. I mean, Green Bay's got a solid defense, but Detroit's got too many weapons. I think Green Bay can be exposed by using the tight end.
And speaking of which, he's practicing.
Right.
Good. I took Detroit. Again, wasn't easy. I'm not going off bias. This game wasn't easy for me to pick. I struggled with this game. I think it'll be a very good game. I think both these. The problem is that entire division is very good, right? So this division is going to be hard to pick all year. What really did it to me and gave me that is all the people that are coming back for the Lions this week. Okay, Hawkinson's looking like he's not, although not official. He's practicing in full pads. He should play. I think he's going to play Monday. Amendola's going to be back. Slay's going to be back. Stafford's no bad reports about his back. Right? This is a healthy Detroit team. Going to go against a Green Bay team that is coming off a huge win over a huge team, and we all know how that goes sometimes. You get a little too full of yourself. You're playing at home against a team whose number you've had at home for years, and a lot of times that bites you in the ass. Detroit's looking to prove themselves, coming off a bye week too, which is always a good, not always, but more normally a good thing. So they've had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. They know how big it is. They want to prove that they're for real. The Lions are going to come out with a lot of heart in this game, and I think the Packers are going to coast into this game thinking, we own Detroit. We just beat up Dallas, who's an elite team in this league. And I think Detroit's going to pull off the upset in this game. And apparently Vegas is starting to feel that way too, because they started as a 6.5-point favorite. They went down to a 6-point favorite, to a 5, and now they're a 4-point favorite. So, like, it's shifting.
Right.
We're not the only people who feel this way. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game, but I think Detroit's going to have just enough in the end to pull it out.
I agree with you. And yeah.
You know, and it is Adam.
Are you there? Did you die? So my friend Tim told me he was going to play. I haven't heard anything official if he's going to play or not. But if he does, he's got to play against Slay, and I don't like that matchup coming off an injury. So I got Detroit. Like I said, I got Detroit. You got Detroit. I think that you picked them, but cool. So we're on that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Neil and I will post our picks to Facebook. We're tied for the season, 38-24, both of us. I gained 3 picks on Neil last week. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.